Welcome. Today, I'm going to be talking about leading by example in pharmacy. I'm Afan Mahmood, a pharmacy student at the University of Utah. I'll be exploring how we can all be better leaders in our profession. Every change begins with someone who dares to act differently. In pharmacy, leadership isn't just about titles or roles. It's about how we carry ourselves every day, especially when no one is watching. This is a call to action, to lead by example and shape the future of our profession. Whether you're a pharmacy student or a practicing pharmacist, this video will help you be a better leader now and moving forward. Leadership through example is a daily choice that shapes our culture every day, more than policy ever could. True leadership is when your actions teach more than your words, when others see how you handle challenges, conflict, and even success. They learn what is and isn't acceptable. Leadership isn't just about being the loudest voice and giving commands. It's about being a role model. Leading by example creates psychological safety, trust, and a sense of purpose. It makes people want to do better, not just because it's a job requirement, but because we set the expectation of personal excellence through our actions. Too often, we fall into easy routines. We cut corners, rush through counseling, tolerate miscommunication, and feel powerless to change the system. It's no wonder pharmacists and other healthcare team members can end up being burned out and disengaged. But workplace culture is made through a series of habits, and habits can change. Through our actions, we normalize behaviors. We shrug our shoulders and say, well, that's just the way it is. The only way to improve the workplace culture is by starting from within. This change for the better starts when one person chooses to act differently. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. By taking those first steps, we inspire everyone to join us on our trek towards excellence. To lead change, we must first believe that change is possible, that respect, efficiency, and compassion are not mutually exclusive, that it's worth speaking up, slowing down, or stepping in. This shift in mindset is where real leadership begins. Pharmacy technicians are the unsung heroes of our profession, yet they're often under-recognized and overburdened. Leadership means treating them like professionals, not subordinates. Imagine this scenario. A technician is frantically trying to check inventory. Phones are ringing, and prescriptions are piling up. You see it, but say nothing, because you're behind on your own tasks. This happens more often than we'd like to admit. One day, instead of ignoring them, you walk over and say, "Let me help you with this bin. We'll figure out the rest together." That moment doesn't just reduce stress, it builds trust. It tells your technician they matter and they're not alone. Instead of ignoring or blaming, step in to help. Through our actions, we create values of teamwork, mutual respect, and shared responsibility. Many pharmacists ignore technicians who are struggling or demand the impossible. By working alongside them, you're replacing hierarchy with collaboration. In a peer-to-peer dynamic, leadership becomes more subtle and more powerful. A negative workplace culture is contagious. If merely complaining instead of exploring solutions is the norm, people emulate those behaviors. If accountability and growth are the norm, these positive behaviors will also spread. Imagine this scenario. A colleague skips patient counseling for an inhaler prescription and assumes the patient doesn't have any questions. You feel uncomfortable, but don't say anything. Our colleague thinks nothing of it. The next day, the same situation comes up, but this time you offer to fully explain the proper inhaler technique to your patient. Your colleague notices your dedication to patient care. He starts to offer patient counseling on new prescriptions. Leadership isn't just about micromanaging and overcorrection. It's about showing a better way. We normalize quality care and taking the extra time to ensure medication and patient safety. Instead of silently watching corner cutting becoming the norm, we raise the bar through the leadership behind our everyday actions. Working with doctors and nurses can feel intimidating at first. You don't want to step on their toes or question their realm of practice and get in their way of doing things. But when the lives of patients are at stake, we can't afford to be silent. Imagine this scenario. You're working in a hospital and you spot an unsafe vancomycin dose in a dialysis patient's order. You hesitate. What if the doctor gets defensive? But doctors are human too, and making an error can be as simple as adding an extra decimal place. You speak up calmly and present your assessment with rationale for the safer dosing recommendation. You offer to build a renal dosing cheat sheet for the team. The doctor actually thanks you. He's been working back-to-back shifts and didn't notice the error. The whole team appreciates your attention to detail and compassion. It's important to note here, leading isn't about boasting or being condescending. It's about advocating confidently and respectfully for what's right. Instead of being silent and reactive, we become proactive in an interdisciplinary way. Patients remember how you made them feel more than what you actually said. And they reflect your energy. If you treat them like a chore, they disengage. If you treat them like a person, they listen. Imagine this scenario. A diabetic patient returns to your pharmacy again with high A1C. They seem unmotivated and don't seem to care. Normally, you just repeat the same directions. But today, you decide to sit down with them and ask, what has been hardest for you when taking this medication? I'd love to listen to your concerns and help in any way I can. You listen, reframe instructions, and start to build trust. Over the coming weeks, the patient finally starts improving. What's key here to remember is that patients respond to human care, not robotic instructions or rushed counseling. Your actions display empathy, and to create quality care, we must create genuine connections. What stops us from leading? Often it's not a lack of knowledge, it's fear. Fear of being wrong, fear of being judged, and fear of being alone in doing the right thing. But leadership is not about being perfect. It's about striving to be better and embodying the growth mindset through our actions. When you embody this, those around you see that mistakes don't mean shame. They offer learning opportunities. You create a culture that seeks to improve through honest feedback and a shared goal of personal excellence. You don't become a leader overnight. You forge your character through challenges and overcoming your limits. As leaders, we are choosing integrity over ego, patience and empathy over irritation, engagement over autopilot. Leaders inspire change more than an authority figure ever could. Culture doesn't change because we talk about it. It changes because one person decides to show what's possible, and others decide to follow in their footsteps. Not because we're told to be better, but because they want to be better. Thanks for watching, everybody. Let's create a better future together.